All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants, your Week 5 offensive line report. And I want to get right into it. I want to talk about this free rusher sack. It's been a big topic of debate online with offensive linemen chiming in, fans chiming in. Did Evan Neal screw up? Who screwed up on this play? Was it DJ? Was it McKeithen? And I want to run through all the scenarios because this is ugly. No matter which way you do it, this is ugly. So, we all saw this play. We all saw this guy run free, right? Which does not make sense that a guy would be running free when you've got 5 people blocking versus 5 rushers. And DJ gets hit by 3 people. So you're thinking, well, Evan Neal's just a total idiot and let this guy go free. Well, even if Evan Neal's wrong, he's not wrong for no reason, right? He is thinking that this is a protecting against 6-man blitzes where the Zudu is setting out to this end, Glowinski's setting out to here. They're all sliding left, and then Evan Neal has these 2 players. If the inside player goes in, he protects the sifting player on the inside, and the quarterback has to throw hot because they're going to rush 6 versus 5. That's the thought process on this. But here's where the Giants screw this up, right? On a multiple platforms. One, if that is the case, Marcus McKeithen has no business setting out to here. No business setting out to here because who is he blocking? If Evan Neal is responsible for these 2 and one of them is going to be hot, he has no business setting down here. He should be setting to the left to this nose tackle who, if he goes this way, Bredesen's setting this way because if they're setting to this player, that's who you're going for. You're going for these 4 players versus these 4 right here. Right? If that's what you're truly thinking on the protection, and then Neal has whichever 2 of these guys go, or their inside man if both go, which they both do. Right? So McKeithen has no part. But here's the other thing. Bredesen also sets to the right. Now, it's just a short step, and Bredesen gets beat anyway, so it doesn't matter. So that's where I get confused on this, is who messed up? Was it Bredesen and McKeithen, or was it Neal? Right? And you would think that, hey, this is manned up on the tight end right here. You know, they got 3 for 2 over here, and let's talk about the hot part. Like, the idea is that, hey, you got a free rusher, and this is 3rd down. You throw this to Eric Gray right now. You got the free rusher, throw this to Eric Gray, which, hey, he's got some space here on this, but still not a great situation when you're on 3rd down. That's the thought process. But here's the thing. It's 5 versus 5, and A.Q. Shipley, a former NFL offensive lineman, chimed in, and I tend to agree with him, but there's just so many things wrong with this. A.Q. Shipley said, whoever posted the video, I understand the negativity towards Neal, but before furthering the narrative, maybe understand the play before posting what you think rather than know. Neal has a sift on backer, like I mentioned, and empty because the running back's not blocking protection, which he does. This is all on Jones. Needs to throw hot. And then someone responds, hot to who? No one open. Shipley says, what does that even mean? Plays are designed with, and I agree with everything Shipley is talking about in that protection is 100% right. There's free rushers sometimes by design. But here's where I get confused. What does that even mean? Plays are designed with protection rules. It doesn't matter if no one is open. If you have 5 in protection and they bring 6, then you are hot and therefore need to throw hot to someone or throw away so you don't take sack. That is how play works. You always want to leave the widest because he will take the longest to get to the QB, which is 100% correct. Here's the issue. They're not sending 6. They are sending 5, and I tried to find this play, or this protection versus this front, and I couldn't find it to see if they did it again. But you kind of no, you have man up right here, you have this backer on the back, and then you have this safety playing a little shallow, right? Like you would assume if they were going to blitz someone and have a safety replace, they would have the safety replace on the running back Eric Gray and not on Darren Waller, especially on a 3rd down. So, hey, you could say DJ needs to throw hot right here, and maybe that's 100% true, but there shouldn't be a hot on this. You should not be setting the protection this way. And no matter which way, if you say, hey, they set the protection to 20, well, then Marcus McKeithen is undoubtedly wrong. If they just did big on big, or not big on big, but 5 on 5. Like if McKeithen's right, then Evan Neal's wrong. One of these 2 are extremely wrong. And then these two can't pick up a stunt on the other side. Bredesen gets beat, and you just have a mess, right? So this is where originally after the game, I'm like, hey, let's not turn this into 2 free rushers, which they do. Essentially 2 free rushers. Because guess what? If the protection is like everyone's saying, well, guess what? Bredesen, even though he gets beat, it doesn't matter because he's supposed to have McKeithen here, right? So Neal is seeing this and trying to push McKeithen down, but now you have 2 unblocked, and then these dudes get beat with a stunt, and it's just a mess, dude. It's a freaking mess, and it should not happen. And you have Ben Bredesen playing center for the first time essentially in the NFL. I mean, this is just a total mess. So you can say DJ has to throw hot, whatever, but this is a mess all around. All right, so we're going to finish off with Evan Neal, just do an Evan Neal segment. I thought about doing a Jalen Mayfield or like a Marcus McKeithen segment, but then I figured I'd rather physically harm myself for content if that's what I was going to do. So Neal in this, it's not bad results, right? But you're still struggling with some of the same issues with Neal, right? And I know 43 on the Dolphins, I forget, Andrew Van Ginkel or something. He's like a solid player, but he's not someone who's going to really test your strength and athleticism too much, even though he did get some wins like the one you're seeing on the screen here. But overall, I thought you saw Neal, like what you're seeing is the improved technique that he has. The bad part is that you're still seeing issues of athleticism and balance and high hands and all of that. So let's get into it. First play, right? And we're going to see a theme with this. So we're setting to number 43 out here. Right? Like, hey, let's just watch this block, right? This is not bad. This is a good result. But also you're seeing a lot of the good reps from Neal coming on quick game, and they helped him out a lot in this game. There was over 10 times where they had tight ends or running backs chipping him. I should have went and counted. But let's just go through it technically though, right? So we're getting out of our stance good and quick, right? That's good. That's improvement from last year. We've seen that consistently. So let first step, second step, we're good, right? Just take that third step. Instead, again, he's getting his feet, they're they're clicking or crossing over, and that means we're opening up our hips, and we're also punching high. Like we're seeing the hands at the helmet. Your hands are high, and that gives that guy leverage. Now, this guy doesn't have long arms or amazing athleticism to take advantage of that stuff, right? So this is where, hey, Neal being the big dude that he is, and as athletic as he is for that size, takes over. So you see some good recovery on this, but you still see the same issues, right? Where it's like, hey, this is fine versus this game, but the next week you play with the same technique and you're going to get killed by Von Miller. Next play, same matchup. Just trust your feet, man. 1. Sorry that, great, the video skips, but 1, 2. So this is the second step. Now when we get to our third step, again, watch this left foot cross behind the right foot. You open up your hips. Now you're facing the sideline. The hand placement isn't horrible, but you're just in a bad spot. You're giving up leverage. But you see Neal's able to anchor down, right? Able to get those feet anchored down. But it's quick game. It's quick game. But still like solid stuff, but not great. Next play, again, same exact matchup. Now, good finish. Put the dude in the dirt. But just you've got to trust your pass sets. 1, 2, and then we see consistently on that third step, it's just not trusting his feet, not trusting his athleticism. That the left foot we are getting together, which is going to leave us unbalanced. Our hands are high. They're coming in around on the top of his shoulder pads. He's getting in us. And if this guy was stronger, he would have all the leverage to bench Neal and push him back into the quarterback. And he does push him, but Neal recovers well. And finishes him. Puts his ass in the dirt. So it's like some good stuff. But I'm not coming away from this like really encouraged, even though the results aren't horrible. Here, verse 91. I like this, right? This, I want to see him use this a little more. So you're seeing the third step, kind of same issue, but with his high hands, right? Which is giving leverage to guys. And sometimes this isn't happening as much as last year, but when he would do these two-hand punches, he would get his shoulders over his knees, and guys would chop at them and get him off balance. So you're not seeing that as much, but I kind of like this one-hand punch with the left hand, right? So you're able to get a punch, and then you can bring the right hand in, and it's not great placement, but it is better placement, and then you can control the block with your hands, which he does on this play. And he did that versus Arizona once. I would like to see him put that in his arsenal a little more often, especially as guys try to work around the corner on him. Now, here's where the ugly reps came from in this game versus inside moves. We're just oversetting, right? And we go to that one-hand punch like we said, but guess what? 43, Van Ginkel, he feels that, right? He feels, hey, this guy's opening his hips. I haven't been able to get around the corner on this guy. I haven't been able to get through him, so I'm going to counter inside. And his weight is shifting this way, so I'm just going to spin off of it. And his weight is still going out this. Get that left hand on the back. And now you force Tyrod out of the pocket. Next play, not the next play in order, but next play we're looking at. This one is the one that worries me, man. This is where we ID the move, right? This is good. Our feet are good. We got good proportion. We ID the move. And it's just slow. We're not pushing off of this right foot. Instead, we are swinging this left foot back, which opens the gate. It opens the gate and gives it a lane for this rusher. Either put this foot down right here and move your feet. But instead, it's slow. The left foot drops back. And your quarterback's getting sacked. I think there might have ended up being a penalty on this. And then last play, we'll go through a little bit of a positive. This isn't like translates to, oh, look how much she's getting better. But it is good football and a guy who's playing with a little more confidence, even though we dealt with the whole fan thing this past week, right? You got Christian Wilkins, obviously not an edge rusher. You got this play action. He tries to get inside you. Just dump him. Like if a guy wants to get in your pads like that, and this is where when we talk about moving the guard, like some of the worries is leverage. Like he's got the strength and size of guys work that. Like he can snatch these guys and trap them. Where he just, hey, okay, you want to get that leverage? Man, I'll just put you in the dirt, and I'll sit on you. 100% legal. Sit on him. So again, you see some improvements in results and in technique, but there's still like the same issues we've seen this season. Not the same issues we've seen last season, but the same issues this season that have plagued him in games, right? And we haven't put together a full game either. Like even if you just say, hey, play the results, you still had those two inside moves that 43 got on you. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully the echo wasn't so bad. I'm recording this from a hotel room. Appreciate you guys. I'll have a film review out later today too. And share with your friends. Let's go Big Blue.